Music is considered one of the fundamental aspects of human culture. Whenever humans come together for any reason, music is there. On this episode of Shak, I have the privilege of chatting with Mahalia, lead vocalist of the band 2 Mile Hill. I must admit, feeling a bit fangirlish today. I really enjoy the work of the band and your production of Mahalia's Corner, which has been a refreshing thing. So welcome and thanks for being here.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, so maybe I'll start with the present and then we can go back a bit.
Cool.
So talk to me about your new single, Talk to Me. Every pun intended there. I was just going to say, I think the entire initiative and the spotlight across the whole cross-section of people is wonderful. So tell me about the genesis of the project, your inspiration, your experience, and I guess your feelings about how it's been received thus far.
I guess I could start with saying that the intention of the song happened when the song was being written. Like, it wasn't any prior idea that we had or that Buggy had beforehand. I was like, yeah, that we write about this. What happened is that we were in a creative period, and we just scheduled a writing session with Buggy because we love Buggy, we love his music, we think he's a phenomenal writer. And so we really just got together and the vibe happened, and just from having conversations with him and each other about life and the world and, our thoughts on things and all of that stuff, like organically, when we started writing the song, that's just where it went. And I think that is the beauty of it too. It wasn't preconceived or anything. So then we wrote, the vibe just flowed, and the song again just organically and naturally came to be. And after that, Andre, aka Black Man Chant, he had the idea that the production of it would be really, really good for the group Fisherman Project out of Trinidad to work with, because they did songs with people like John Yard. They generally have an inspirational, uplifting kind of
style,
approach, style. And they actually did Voices songs, the last two songs that he won the Soca Monarch with. They actually produced those also. So Andre felt like that would be a good fit for the vibe and the message and all of that, the song. And when we all got together, it just came out. I can ask for it to come out better than it did. So to get the reception that the song got, like starting there from production, has just been phenomenal. No, as it comes down to all the rest of things.
Yes.
i.e. COVID-19 and coronavirus business is kicking off. Like, we actually started, we wrote this song, first of all, in 2017.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah, in 2017. And there were times, on more than one occasion, where we were thinking about releasing it. And for one reason or the other, we decided not to do it at any of those other points beforehand. And so we decided we were going to do it this year for sure. And we started recording the music video. Like, we came up with the idea and recorded the music video early in the year, just before Naniki Jazz Festival, which is where we actually debuted the song live. That would have been the first time we played it in its entirety for a live audience before it was even released.
Okay.
And we started filming the video, and going into the end of February, coming up upon the end of February, we started filming the video. We went off to Las Vegas for a short tour there. And when we came back, we wanted to finish it up. And that's right as all of the news about coronavirus. Yes, that's where the chaos ensued. And the final day of our shooting was actually the day where the health emergency was issued and the shutdown happened.
Okay. Well, spot on then. Spot on.
I know. So there were just so many things that made it seem like it was just meant to be. The way that it came out was the way that it was supposed to come out.
Okay. So I mean, I guess the other thing is I saw your post, I saw the Talk to Me music video, and I saw your post about your own personal struggles with anxiety, and I want to say that that is true bravery, and I
Thank,
am so very proud of you, I have to say.
thank you.
I am, truthfully. Then there's the Talk to Me mental health series, kind of linked, I suppose, to the song, and that's something that I feel is well overdue for Barbados as well. So maybe you could tell me a bit about that too.
That actually that actually happened pretty organically too. Like that just falls in line with the serendipity of it all, because like just after we released the video and we actually did the short series of highlighting some of the faces from the
Yeah.
video and letting people know who they are and whatnot, that's when the whole mental health cascade just kind of happened. And soon after, I was asked to be a part of a project by Ian Webster and Shane Jones, which is We Got This, which is a video that they just released recently. And it just followed on from that feeling of loving your neighbor and talking to them and being one Caribbean and we can get through this together, which just was like another kind of universe moment.
Yeah,
And
a sign from the universe.
Exactly. And then right after now, lo and behold, it is Mental Health Awareness Month.
It is.
Exactly. So that being said, now, after having released my video, so like people have already started reaching out after we released Talk to Me, which was very interesting because we weren't thinking about it from a mental health perspective.
Yeah.
But so many messages came in, even from right after we released Talk to Me, all the way through all that other stuff that happened, that people started messaging a lot after I posted my personal video. And it made me realize that people really are dying to talk about this. Like they are dying for it.
Yeah.
And with that, the idea for it actually came from my very good friend Tracy Fowler, who does Sunny Side Up. And she was like, I think that this would be a good idea for you to do. And once again, immediately the anxiety level shoot through the ceiling.
Yeah, into the lion's den then.
Exactly. But just as when I did the video, it just felt like it was so necessary and so important that the anxiety wasn't enough to stop me from going through and doing it. So after the decision was made that I would do it, then I reached out to people that I figure would be good for people to talk to, which is why I started with a Daisy, because she's kind of like a veteran in the mental health talk, in the mental health conversation. And she is one of the first people that have encourage people to start the conversation. So the first one was with her, and it kicked off really well. And then this last one that passed, I spoke with Janelle Chase Mears, who right, who's a mental health consultant. And I just feel it again is very laid back and conversational because that's just who I am. But I feel like that kind of environment also allows people to feel a lot safer.
Yeah.
It's not any official thing. And it's been going well in that there are people that come into the live in the chat, and when you see the comments they make and the questions they ask, yes, this was really necessary.
Yeah, that you're really helping somebody and, giving them a space to express themselves and maybe some of their fears.
Or at least to know that they're in a community and not just on an island alone.
Yeah. So you did mention the Water Street Boys production of We Got This. You've been busy. I have watched the video and I find the whole virtual collaboration really interesting. So I want to ask if you think that post COVID-19 we'll see more of that virtual style of artist collaboration, and if it'll expand the reach of possible collaborations in the future.
I mean, I could only hope. What I do think is post COVID-19 is not pre-COVID-19, and whatever the world is going to be like when all of this clears up to a point where gears could start moving again, it definitely will not look like it did before this happened.
It's true.
So from that alone, I can foresee that there probably will be a lot more digital collaboration, and people will realize that it's something that is very possible across the world, a lot more possible than we thought, or
yes,
that
it's true.
we you know, something that we would have probably taken for granted.
Yeah.
And also it will probably encourage artists to I guess elevate themselves in their own space, so that the product that they produce is of the quality and caliber that they're accustomed to, or that are a level above what they were doing before. Like, it's just an opportunity to improve and to
push
grow
yourself
that way. Yeah, also. But all I can say is that I hope so. I hope that this that is happening right now, this environment, is kind of showing people that unity, there's strength in unity, and that's not just a cliche. And you know, and there's a lot that can be done when we reach out to each other, when we talk to each other, and collaboration is definitely one of those things. Yeah.
So I guess you would say that you're, you know, optimistic about the changes that may come to the industry in this quote unquote new normal.
I guess I just want to be optimistic about life in general, about being and the way that we get to positive points in life is to see them. Yeah. You know, like you try to foresee it and manifest it and do the things that you can do, that you have control over, to reach that point. And if you go into a particular place and you want it to be positive, you gotta start wanting it to be positive.
True.
Yeah, so
makes sense to me. So going back to focus, I guess, a bit more on you personally. There are many who believe there's power in a name, and Mahalia is a singer's name, you know, the same name as the Queen of Gospel. So I want to talk a bit about your trajectory into a career in singing, and whether it's been something you always wanted to do, or maybe even have been, you know, destined to do.
Yeah, you know, they say that greatness is thrust upon some people. And I actually didn't like my name at first, and I always knew that it was named after Mahalia Jackson. But I felt it wasn't even anything about that. It was just the actual name and saying it and people pronouncing it wrong. And I've never met another Mahalia and all these things. And then I'm like, she's not. I should just be named Ashley or right. Let me start there. But like, I always had a profound respect and love for Mahalia Jackson, especially because growing up in my house, like, we had Ready Fusion. And
really taking us back there, Mahalia.
Yeah,
taking us back.
If when I know how old I am, when I get going now. But yeah, so I used to hear her a lot on the radio, and I said, "Oh my God, this woman is just like amazing, right?" And and even from then, I was. Music was just in me. Like, I used to sing everything, hum everything. My mom told me I used to make up my own things. So music was just something that was in me, I guess, from birth or before birth or whatever. Whatever is me before you come out. Right? And it was always something that I had to do. It wasn't even a thought. It was just like breathing. Always singing. But as I grew up more and more, and I noticed that being a singer also came with being a celebrity. And being a celebrity was it was like a very invasive and intrusive kind of life, where people are always in your business, and you had to be particular ways, because this is what a celebrity or artist or a musician or whatever is supposed to be. And it just seemed like a life that wasn't for me. Yeah. And so I would just enjoy my singing whenever and wherever else I could sing, at church, at home, wherever, at school concerts, whatever the case is. And then that being said, I went all the way through school, and I went to UE and all of that, not ever expecting that I would end up doing music professionally. Yeah. And I even met the guys from the band at UE. And that's when we actually started playing music together, like as we were about to leave UE. And we were just doing it because we loved it, and we all were doing degrees, pursuing degrees and all the kind of things
Yeah, I
like
mean,
computer
it's true.
science
I
and
remember that. I remember
physics
the computer science.
and all of that there. So nobody ain't thinking we're gonna end up being
Mm-hmm.
professional musicians. We just love to play some music. Let me get together and play music. And I'm not sure when it happened for them, but after we graduated, and I went for a job interview with a company that it looked like, and I don't want to blow my own horn, but it looked like I was about to get a job. and I will say it this way every time I say it, it's like God like stopped me in my tracks and tell me clear, and it was almost as clear as actual voice or actual bell. Another thing that sounds like a cliche, but like I don't know how else to describe
put
it. It was
it.
like a bell went off in my head, and a voice was like, "This is not what you're supposed to be doing." So like it was like, you are supposed to be singing. Like it was so clear. It was so clear. So I recommend somebody else for the job, and I get and I walk out.
Whoa. Well,
and I have not looked back.
I agree, and I guess in some ways we have really benefited from that choice, you know. So kudos to you.
Thank you.
So you've reached a place in your career, or this destiny, you know, based on what you just told me, we can call it that, this destiny. So, and you did mention, you know, some of the things you think about with regard to celebrity life and, you know, the challenges that come with that. So what do you see as the opportunities and the challenges of, you know, this public profile?
The opportunity, all right, yeah, I can start with the opportunities. Opportunities are, for me personally, that I get to interact with and inspire other people and uplift other artists. That's something that I didn't know I needed in my life until I realized that is what I needed in my life. Because even before Mahalia's Corner started, I was the type of person that would give somebody else encouragement. Because like I think that's really important. And even without thinking that's really important, it's just something that I do naturally. So having the platform now that I have as an artist puts me in a better position to do that. And that's definitely one of the big opportunities that we capitalized on with Mahalia's Corner. Apart from that, there are other things that are like being able to meet, work with, chat with, talk to other people in the industry or other industries that you never thought you would ever meet ever in your life. Right? And that's something that that's an opportunity that a lot of other people in other arenas don't get.
It's true.
So that's something that I'm definitely grateful for, because over my career so far, I have met a lot of people that I would never have otherwise met, probably, you know? And have been able to speak to them or perform with them or perform after them or before them, you know, or just be in the same room. So like, that's just something that I would be eternally grateful for. That and being able to travel and see other parts of the world and introduce people to Barbados and stuff like that.
Yeah. So in terms of your challenges with this public profile now, you know.
It's, to be honest, it is exactly the same stuff that I was thinking about as a young girl, not thinking that she wanted to sing professionally. It's exactly the same. And that's interesting because that is in the 90s that I was thinking that.
And it's 90s, it's like on steroids, no.
And exactly, I know we in 2020 and the world, like, it is a whole other world. Same old issues. Definitely what I would say is, I guess the level of notoriety that we're at and the fact that we still live in Barbados protects us from a lot of that stuff to a level. But even so, like, there are still the expectations that come with being an artist, and for me being a woman in the music industry, like, I was hearing believe that I was hearing stuff like, you guys are about to be too old for this and all of that stuff before 2010.
Wow. Okay. Jeez.
Yeah, before 2010, I was already having to battle with the fear of my age being a detriment to me if we don't get this and this to happen this year, or this and this to happen now immediately, like the chance is gonna pass, and you know, and all these things that kind of set you up for almost for failure if you can't, if you're in a position where you're kind of already unsure,
if
like
you
that
don't have the strength to push back a bit.
Exactly, that could break a lot of people, and even the people that push through are pushing through with all of this weight and concern and worry on the shoulders, you know, some people anyway, and stuff like that, like the expectations of me to be more feminine or more sexy, you know, because sex sells, and you can't sing. I even had a situation where I had dreadlocks, and I was told you can't sing pop if you got dreadlocks. Like you can't sing alternative if you're black. Like all of these things, right? And all that while, I was trying to just figure out who I was as an artist. You know?
Yep.
So it just, like, stuff like that kind of created a pool of confusion for me, and probably was instrumental in my anxiety growing over the years, you know. Apart from that, the other big challenge is being from Barbados and being in Barbados and having to travel to perform, or not getting particular work because we would have to travel, and the band is 5 people and has a lot of money, and so economically it kind of was difficult, and there were a lot of people that would be like, oh, why you guys don't just move to the States or whatever the case is. And that's that was an option. We actually had a moment where we were in the States on a college tour for extended periods of time, but economically, again, the money that we would make over there would not be enough to sustain us living over there and not being from there. And then also it was difficult to keep finding flights back and forth to Barbados, to the States, to Barbados, and there's places like Virginia, Ohio. Like, we are going to Miami. You know what I mean? So,
no, that's a real problem, a real legit challenge.
So stuff like that, and along with the fact that, like, Barbados is like a drop in the ocean inside of America, which means now this
compared to the world,
this artist is now like a microscopic drop in the ocean of artists that are in America, that are from America, that we would now have to compete with, not being from America. So that is something that all I know is still got to navigate that. But know that the world is a lot more digital. It's not as challenging. But that was something that we had to navigate, and decided that it made sense for us to try to continue on the US college tour. Because it, you know, financially, they made sense. But we wanted to still create our music and stuff like that. And so those are some of the challenges. I mean, they're big ones or small ones, and I could probably keep thinking, you know, more and more. But you know, that's just life. So
fair enough. So, I mean, I have always admired how, you know, you've carved a space for yourself in this industry where differentiating oneself can be hard. And I mean, you kind of talked a little bit about some of that just now. So tell me what keeps you going. You know, how do you stay motivated and stay creative as an artist?
There are some times when creativity is definitely blocked. Don't feel like don't feel like it's just been like,
you know, just pouring out.
There are definitely different things and different times that creativity is on a go slow, for lack of a better way to put it. But for me, there's just this eternal kind of light inside me that is my creativity. Like, and I think is also my life force. So, like, as long as I'm alive, it's gonna be there. It's gonna be there. So whether it is my visual art or music or whatever the case is, dancing, even at the times when I can't tap into it, I know that it's there. But apart from that, like, just my experiences, other people's experiences, seeing people live. Like, I think my thing is, like, interpersonal relationships, people's relationships, the way that we talk and interact and
Mm-hmm.
love and hate and all
Okay.
these things. Those
Yeah.
are the things that I guess remind me that I'm alive and also kind of fuel my creativity. I like on looking back at my thought processes and stuff like with songwriting, or even if I didn't write a song, I was thinking about it a lot of the time. It's definitely about people interacting with other people.
Okay. So, if you, Mahalia, had the power to change, or to make a change to our local entertainment industry, what would that be? What would that look like?
That's too hard a question to answer,
Ah!
girl. That is for as much as I would love. I don't even know how I would answer it. It's very difficult to answer, but
Well,
one
maybe.
thing
Mhm. Go ahead. Go ahead.
I was gonna say, one thing that I feel would encompass all the other things that I can think of
Mm-hmm.
would be a general belief and respect for the people that make up the industry, because
Mm-hmm.
we talk about the industry like it's a thing that you can hold in your hand.
Mm-hmm.
Like
Mm-hmm. Like a
a thing
tangible.
that an entity that exists without the people that make it up. Actually, I just had a thought that we talk about countries that way too, like this country and that country, but a country is made up of people, individuals, and the
Mm-hmm.
industry is made up of individuals. So the people that are within the industry have to realize that it's all of we that's making the industry.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. True.
And the people that are not in the industry need to realize that these people make up this industry, and these people are Barbadians.
Yeah.
And they represent Barbados, whether they're in Barbados or not. And we want to uplift anybody who has to represent Barbados.
Okay.
So I feel if there was a general respect and belief in the industry, that it would cause the domino effect of respect for each person, for their
Mm-hmm.
music, for the
Okay.
way that we communicate with them and each other, the more encouragement and guidance. People would know that they can't pay we in exposure, stuff like
Mm-hmm.
that.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh. I hear you.
So
I
I
hear
feel
you.
like that would be the thing, like the linchpin to like pull it all together, and then it would just improve and improve from there. That's what I
Okay.
feel personally.
All right. All right. I hear you. So undoubtedly, you will be remembered, as a fixture in this list of Barbadian entertainers in the local entertainment industry that we just talked about. But how
I
would
hope so.
you? But how would you like to be remembered? You will be remembered, but how would you like to be remembered?
I guess I feel I would. The best thing to know that I would be remembered for would be that same uplifting of other artists,
Mm-hmm.
because that to me is what I can do right now,
Mm-hmm.
in like to realize that thing that I would like to change that you just asked me about, that I just
Yeah.
told you
Yeah.
about. Show, kind of lead by example and show everybody what we have, because Barbados got so much talent is now another cliche. That's become a
I
cliche.
I'm
And
with
people
you.
is
I
just
hear you.
saying,
Truth. Truth.
right? But again, they've forgotten that it is the truth. So like when I can show the whole of Barbados,
Mm-hmm.
like let Barbados, the entire population of Barbados understand and know and see what we actually have, that we can have our own thing here
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
without having to leave and come back. That's something, like if that's something that I can forward, because you can't just like I can't just expect that it can change all the way in my lifetime or whatever the case
Mm-hmm.
is.
Mm-hmm.
But
But
if
you
I
can
could just
start.
move that train
Yeah.
forward and you
Yeah.
can see some kind of change happening for the positive, I would like to people to look back and be like, yeah, boy, Mahalia will start that. Or Mahalia had a big hand in this happening. Like that would be amazing for
Well, then that is my wish for you then. So,
me.
so lastly, a more serious question here. I take
Mhm.
a lot of pleasure in like your hair and outfit choices, often bold
Right.
and never dull. So do you have a stylist or are you self-styled? I'm just curious.
I am most definitely self-styled. I have never really had a stylist. I've had people style me for one or two things individually, but generally over my entire career, I have been styling myself, like from the time before we were to Hill, all the time back when, just before we were even Nexus and stuff.
Yeah, yeah.
Like I would just feel like I needed to stand out and be different, even if my outfit choice was a little bit questionable at the time, or whatever the case is. Like, I always felt like an artist, like being an artist was supposed to be your essential, your permission to just
be yourself,
whatever, right? To just be different and be bold and stand out. And so that's kind of just always was my thinking. And so I would use what I had, my outfits from the beginning, and try to put them together in a way that nobody had never ever seen before, maybe in Barbados, or so that they would look around twice and be like, oh wait, she's the same. You know what I mean? Like, that's always kind of been my outlook on it. I did go through a period of time, again, where I was receiving a lot of pressure about the way I should look and the way that I should dress and all of that stuff. So, like, along with that, like, it would have changed the way that I approach my the way that my image in general. But I would still try to find little, like, rebellious
ways that you can still express yourself.
Peek through what I was being told, but also trying to be open to suggestions from people that I believed at the time would have known better than me about the industry and all of that stuff. But I was still able to keep that thought in my mind, that you just, like, as an artist, you're supposed to be able to express who you are on the inside, and even if that doesn't look like what someone else thinks it should look like, don't matter, because them, the artist is you. Right?
Fair enough. Good to know.
You gotta feel good. You gotta feel good whenever you look at yourself, when you look back at videos, where you look in the mirror before you leave home, and all of that.
Yeah.
So that's just it. And I'm now coming back to a place where I'm starting to feel like I have more expression to give in terms of my image and whatnot, and feeling, and heading back now to my Afro roots. I don't have dreadlocks again, but, like, definitely back on a natural hair movement, natural hairstyles, and the challenge of trying to make those stand out. Because when I started, because you will probably remember, I had, like, colored hair.
Yeah, I remember all of those things.
Right. So when the decision came around to go back natural and wear my hair natural, even when I was performing, and not just, when you're home and you got protective style. The challenge for me became, and still is, and I'm still trying to find it, the way to stand out again on the level that I was standing out when I had colored hair and all of these other things, but from a natural point of view. So that's kind of where I'm at now, trying to figure that out. But I think I'm doing all right so far.
I feel doing good, man. I feel good.
Yeah.
So I just want to say thank you for taking the time out to spend with me. I look forward to seeing what's next for you and the band. So thank you again. This was fun.
Yes, it definitely was. Thanks for reaching out. Like, I think that what you're doing also is very important. So keep at it. Keep at it.
Thank you so much. So have a good day. All right.
You
Bye.
too.
Bye.
Bye.